What up, man? Welcome back to the garage, man. To the cold, freezing ass garage. Okay, Google, what temperature is it in Phoenix, Arizona right now?
In Phoenix, it's currently 47 degrees.
Look, that's cold to me, okay? I think it's actually colder in the garage than it is outside. Today, man, I'm gonna try messing with Khaki once again. So, huge shout out to Danny. I know I keep bringing his name up quite a bit. Danny's the one that we raced in the Blazer that has the EG hatch. He's also the one that let me borrow his distributor, and now he's also the one that's letting me borrow this wiring harness. So he has a car that has basically all the same stuff in it that I have on Khaki. This is the exact same harness that I have on Khaki, and these are things that are coming from a known to run vehicle. I think I've also mentioned in a video that my laptop we use for editing, that laptop can never get a break. Like currently right now, it's being used in there right now for editing. So Danny also let me borrow his laptop, and no, there aren't going to be any homemade videos in here. Hey, come back on. Where'd you go? There you are. So I guess this laptop he picked up, and it's literally just for using it on Honda, which is genius. I need to do that same thing. So I have one for the truck and for Khaki, you know? Anyhow, I've already got this thing plugged in. It's running down to the Honda S300. I have yet to do anything because honestly, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna try to figure it out as I go. I know first thing I wanna do is see if all the sensors are working. I think you can do that in there somehow. All right, well, I will say Khaki idles really well whenever you let it actually warm up. It's idling at 192 degrees. I personally didn't know exactly what this thing should be running at, and I guess Honda B-Series engines are like around 195 to 200 degrees. That's where they should be, and that's where my temperature gauge is at. I only mention that because I've had this thing idling here for like 30 minutes now, but it revs a little cleaner when it's warm as well. Anyhow, I'm messaging back and forth because, I mean, let's face it, my knowledge of doing this S-Manager shit is basic at most. Like, yeah, I've been messaging back and forth with Bravus Industries. A lot of you guys know who he is. If you don't, go give him a follow on Instagram because he's a really cool dude. And if you ever need any ECU help, any help with your ECU, definitely the guy to reach out to. So I've got a couple of problems here. Danny's computer is, I think it's too old. It doesn't have what's required for me to download this AnyDesk app. So then Nomis would be able to go in and basically control it himself. A way around that is I need to do like a data log, and he was instructing me just to hit record, go for a drive, come back and record, you know? So you can see what's going on in the data log. But another issue is this laptop, the battery in it is no good. It only works whenever you have it plugged in which I have it plugged in, so. I told him, should I be doing a jack stand dyno right now? Just put it up on jack stands and take it through third? No, we're not gonna do that. But anyhow, what I am gonna do is data log just like a 15-second. He said just let it idle and then give it a couple of revs, let it idle, and then stop recording. And then I'm gonna email him that log. He's gonna look at it and see if he can see anything wrong. And I sent him a little video like on Instagram of what all the sensors are doing right here, in which he said everything looks normal there, but what he needs is a data log. So I'm gonna give it a try. Recording. That was a braving clip. All right, let me get somewhere so I don't have to scream to talk. So I sent the data log and I sent my calibration file, basically the tune that's on Khaki, over to Nomis. He's looking at it right now. He just messaged me back. He said he thinks that he found the problem, but let him verify. I don't know, bro. We'll see. And just to put it out there, I know a lot of people have been commenting, like telling me to like reach out to this person or talk to this person. I feel like things like this, I mean, unless unless Nomis can find it within the tune, I personally don't know. I have a feeling that this is going to be something hardware, not something software. I have that feeling. But who knows? Maybe in the tune he can see if there's a problem with a sensor or something. But I know a lot of people have been telling me to reach out to this person or that person, or call Speed Factory or whatever, you know, like I don't want to just just call some company, it's not even in the same state, and be like, hey, I have a Honda Civic and it's got a problem, can you help me over the phone? Like, I really feel like Khaki is like a hands-on type of thing to really diagnose what's going on with it. You know, I feel like it's gonna need hands-on, but I don't know, we'll see. I definitely appreciate Nomis going out of his way, man, and helping me the way he is right now. All of you guys, honestly, like, I wouldn't be getting anywhere if it wasn't for all of you. I'm just waiting for him to reply back. He said he might make some changes to the tune and then send it back so we can upload it and see if it makes a difference. But other than that, Khaki's doing really good just sitting here idly. It sounds good, not overheating. So I do see some oil right there. What is that? It's up here. Must be coming out of the back of the VTEC solenoid. All right, while we're waiting on Nomis to get back to me, I'm gonna go ahead and start assembling the front end of the damn Suburban, man. I was excited to do that yesterday and then waiting for the paint to dry. I did not end up picking up any kind of glue. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drill some holes down here, and I'm just gonna use zip ties, bro. I'm gonna drill some holes down here to zip tie through the grill, then through this piece, and then do a couple across here also to put some zip ties up there. It's not gonna be perfect, but it'll definitely freaking hold it in there better than what it did from the factory. What's up? Oh, I need a marker. All right, make sure to get this thing where it's gonna sit. And we need a hole there, there. Bam! Boy, you can't even see the zip ties. Tell me where they're at. Tell me where they're at. Damn. Fresh, boy.
Bag number 2 then.
Now for this freaking magical ass piece that I've never had on this truck before. It has always looked like this. If I had a grill or not, it's always looked like this. And this makes so much freaking sense, dude. This is probably the reason why I had overheating problems when I went to electric fans, is because this is supposed to block the air to where it goes through the radiator and not over the core support. And no, I didn't clean this piece. I'm gonna wipe it down after I put it on. Got my fancy dandy little thing from Harbor Freight. It's got all the plastic fasteners in it. Just find something that fits in the hole. Yeah, too big, what she said. Ooh, just right. Ooh. Ah. I know, it's about 50 shades of white.
52 shades of white.
But I think it looks pretty good with a white grill.
It looks a lot better.
I think, I don't know, it looks more presentable. It'd probably be a much better representation if I actually washed it. Whoa, because it's kind of what do you mean line the front bumper up correctly? My self-tappers in there broke.
Tappers.
Yeah, dude, okay, I don't know if you remember whenever we got the Suburban, it didn't have a bumper. Well, whenever I got this bumper and I put it on there, the section that actually bolts that up right there, it's cut off. So I have like a little L bracket in there bolted to the bumper with these long self-tappers.
Yeah.
And the self-tappers is how I adjusted the gap over there. to tighten it up. Both self-tappers broke. I need to replace those. Yes, it'll make it look a lot nicer. But, I mean, dang, bro, it's got a grill. It's all white. I need to get that other one from the junkyard, or just paint this white. But, you know what I will say, though? It might be 50 shades of white right now, but the paint that I painted the grill with, I actually have like 3 gallons of that. And I have it for a reason. It's so that I can paint the Suburban someday. All right, I was on the phone with No Miss for over an hour, man. Been back and forth messing with the car. Got the tune a little better. It's a base map. So he did some adjustments to what was already on there. Sent it back over and I uploaded it. So it is running a little better now. But the problem is still there. It still has the chop to it. It's good and warmed up now. I had shut it off and let it get cold, letting it idle for a little while, and it's back to being warm. We're at 188 degrees. Man, I gotta tell you, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and shut this off. I will say that a little bit of time being on the phone with No Miss, I definitely learned a lot. I learned how to data log. I've learned how to look at the data log. We've been over just about everything, dude. The TPS is doing exactly what it is that it should be doing. He said on his side, looking at the data log, looking at all the sensors and everything that you could possibly look at through the Honda, everything looks good. Software wise, it looks good. So at this point, I'm going to, another thing is, like, to me, it seems like all the wires must be good if everything is looking good, but who knows? It still potentially could be wiring. But for now, what I'm gonna do is go ahead and start the car back up again. He was explaining a problem that he ran into once that kind of had him looking around and chasing his tail on things, and obviously it was wiring. It was inside of a jumper harness, an ECU jumper harness. You know, this car that he was explaining to me had a really bad misfire, sounded very much so like Khaki, and it's like he started just shaking wires and moving wires around, and he found somewhere inside of that jumper harness there was like some corrosion inside of a wire or something that whenever you wiggle it, you can get it to act right and work. Long story short, they ended up finding that there was like corrosion inside of the wires on that jumper harness. So I'm gonna go through and just kind of wiggle and shake clips like on my injectors, TPS, all that kind of stuff, and then back at the ECU. While doing so, I might need to get Jessica out here to help me, like just kind of giving the throttle a little stab, seeing if it does the or if we can get it to cleanly idle up through RPM by wiggling on wires. It's a place to start, bro. I'm just gonna do that really quick to see if we find anything. What'd you say?
I said I feel like I'm gonna break a hip in here. I'm wedged in.
Believe me, I get wedged in there too.
Baby, you're gonna have to help me out.
Hey, that seat does its job, man. It doesn't allow you to move. All right, so for starters, ignition's on. Let me reconnect here. All right, what I want you to do is you're gonna hit the gas pedal, off the gas pedal, and now all the way down. All right, now come back up. Now try to like go from no throttle to 100% throttle, but try to go slow. All right, let off and floor it. So you see the TPS is working exactly how it's supposed to. We recalibrated the TPS just 30 minutes ago. Another thing is inside of the data log, we did a couple of revs, and you can look back at the data log and you can see that the TPS is going up. Whether you rev it fast or you rev it slow, you can stab the throttle, no matter what, the TPS is reacting and it's doing what it's supposed to do. We're looking to see if during those stumbles, during those misfires, is potentially the TPS was like falling off or something. Another thing is I now shut Khaki off. Khaki has been off for, I don't know, like 20 minutes or so, long enough for it to kind of cool down. The engine coolant temp sensor is reading 143. I believe that's accurate. Yeah, we are connected right now. So yeah, that's accurate. I want to show you this data log that I have right here. Just, this is for somebody mentioned that their temperature sensor had messed with their tune in a way that caused it to do a very similar type of misfire, right? If you come over here and look at this data log right now, this is in the middle of a rev. If you see this green line right here, that is TPS going up to 100%. And if you look right here, engine coolant temp, it is at 0%. That is basically given the temperature of the engine coolant temp at that moment when I did that rev, it was compensating 0% based off of temperature. So now that the car is cold, I'm gonna go ahead and start it up, and we're gonna do that one more time. We're gonna do another data log similar to this so I can show you that ECT right now, during the time that I did this data log, the car was warm and it was compensating 0%. All right, baby, what you gonna do is hit the top left button for fuel. Give it a wiggle, make sure it's in neutral. Wiggle. All right, now far right, actually I'll start it for you. Go ahead and give it a couple revs. All right, so now the car is actually cold. I have it at an idle. I'm gonna do a data log really quick, which is gonna erase this one. So when the car was warmed up, the engine coolant temperatures were obviously warm, so it was adding 0% fuel. Now that it's cold, I'm gonna do another data log. Give it a couple revs. The data log, and then we're gonna go to one of these revs right about there. So the ECT on the previous data log was at 0%, and if you look right here, ECT, engine coolant temperature, now it's at 20%. Turn the ignition off and then back to on. So basically what that is saying is when the car is cold, it knows it. It knows that it's cold. So it's adding 20% fuel based off the fact that the car is cold. And whenever the car is warmed up, it knows that the car is warmed up. And it was adding 0% fuel. So I'm just showing you that just to say, hey, the engine coolant temperature sensor is doing its job. That's one thing that I've seen a couple of times in the comments. So we want to cover our bases. You know what I'm saying? Now our engine coolant temperature is at 171. So basically what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and let the car idle here for a moment, let the operating temp get all the way to its max where it just idles at. And that's somewhere between like 195 and 200 degrees. Just sitting here idling. And then Jessica is sitting in the driver's seat, and what I'm gonna have her do is I'm gonna wiggle like one plug at a time, like everything in here, dude. And each injector plug, each coil pack, the MAP sensor, TPS sensor, and then I'm gonna come in here, obviously our distributor plug. And then I'm gonna come in here and just kind of wiggle all the wires and stuff on the ECU itself where the plugs go in. Obviously, this isn't gonna rule out a wiring problem, but if there is like a poor connection, something that's not getting a really good connection, maybe we might see some kind of difference in the car. Like, who knows, I might be wiggling something and she tries to give it a little bit of throttle and it throttles smooth and it gets rid of that misfire sound. I don't know. It's just another one of those things. I want to cover all my bases and try everything that I possibly can. Hit it. Check engine light. I did unplug the coolant temperature sensor. I wanted to see if it made any difference. So that's probably why the check engine light kicked on. All right, what we're gonna try next is another thing that I've seen a lot of comments on: coil packs. This car has the exact same coil packs on it that I have on Khaki right now, and I know that they work. Known good working coil packs. Ah, it's all the way in the middle of the car too. I literally can't reach it.
Here, take this and reach it.
No, you know what I'm gonna do to reach it?
You're gonna take your stick.
No.
What? You're gonna freaking move the car.
Yeah.
I got it. Here you go.
Hey.
Go back to the camera.
Thank you, baby. You're a lifesaver.
You're welcome.
Success. Alright, known to work coil packs. There is absolutely no misfire on the EP3 at all. So hopefully this makes a difference. I need an Allen wrench.
Oh,
Nope. Yep.
they're nice and warm. Ooh, nice and warm.
Fit what he's on.
Dunk. You gonna screw them back in?
Alright, fire in the hole. Exactly the same. So, we've ruled out TPS, we have ruled out spark plugs, and in a previous video we put brand new spark plugs. We ruled out coil packs, we ruled out, what else? Oh, we passed the wire wiggle test. That doesn't necessarily rule it out, but didn't notice any kind of change there. Yeah, what's next, man? I do know that every time you unplug a coil pack, every time you unplug an injector, it makes a difference in the way that the car is idling. So that means that they are all getting something, but Nomis did mention to me that it could potentially be getting like not a consistent signal, which would probably mean something wiring, because there's no problem in the ECU. There's no problem with the injectors. It could be like corrosion in a wire or something, and it's not getting a good connection, but it's got a connection. So maybe every time like a fuel injector is like spray, 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 spray like it's supposed to, maybe it's like spray, spray, no spray, no spray, 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 no spray, spray, no spray, like intermittent, like enough to where you can notice a difference if you unplug it, but it's not necessarily that it's behaving the way that it should. It's just, you know, like it's not getting full contact. I don't know, man. I have a set of those Noid lights for testing injectors, so that's what we're gonna do next. Is this it? That's not it. I know it's one of these skinny little guys. Is this it? Oh, that is it. Oh. That's it. Noid light and IAC tester set. How the hell do you test the IAC with this? I don't know. Who cares? Alright. Up first, we got injector number 4. So injector number 4, not only is it blinking, but it's got a nice consistent rhythm to it. It doesn't look weird. It's not like doing like a weird rhythm. It's got a nice consistent rhythm to it. Alright, switch them out. Cylinder number 3. Definitely blinking. Definitely has a nice consistent rhythm to it. Cylinder number 2. Cylinder number 1. It definitely don't like cylinder number 1 being unplugged. Now I got a check engine light on for fuel injector. Makes sense, right? We're just unplugging the fuel injectors.
Yeah.
Alright, all the injectors are getting a pulse. From what I could tell with my limited experience in testing injectors. I don't know, it seemed pretty normal to me. They all had kind of a rhythm. Nothing looked weird. I mean, other than it threw a fault code, obviously, because we were unplugging the injectors while I was running. But oh my god, bro, I don't know, dude. We've checked injectors now. It's not injectors, not spark plugs, not coil packs. It's not the ECU. It's not the distributor. It's not TPS. TPS, again, a good signal. It's not the map sensor. It's not, dude, what? Yeah, everything is checking out, man. And mind you, I've been dealing with this for probably, if it hasn't already been 2 years, it's been close to 2 years. I've been dealing with this for a while. Curly has been over here multiple times, and Curly knows a lot more about what it is he's doing inside of this. And he went through it, and he don't see any problem. Nomis, like I said, I spent an hour on the phone with him today, him helping me go through it, sending him data logs and stuff back and forth, because I couldn't get this to do the live share thing to actually let him do it himself. So he was instructing me on what to do and everything, and taking data logs and emailing them to him. And then, you know, he was, dude, he can't find anything either. So, and at the same time, like, if I'm being completely honest with you guys, I don't want to switch out the engine harness. So if I switch to this engine harness, it has Bosch plugs on it. I need to switch injectors. So I can't leave those injectors in there. I have to put my 1000cc injectors back in there. In which I really don't want to put the 1000cc injectors back in there right now. And I don't know, everything's leaning towards I need to go ahead and just try this harness. But at the same time, if there was a problem with one of the wires going to the TPS, we would see it. The TPS wouldn't be acting the way it should be. If there was a problem with a wire going to one of the injectors, we wouldn't have gotten the pulse that we're getting out of each injector clip. If there was a problem going to any of the coil packs, they wouldn't be getting spark. You know what I'm saying? Like, whenever I unplug, I can unplug each one of them. I've already done it. I'm not doing it again. One of them at a time, and it makes a big difference in the way the car idles. So which tells me that you're disconnecting it and it's not getting a spark in that hole now. So when you reconnect it, it's getting a spark in that hole, you know? So all those things have wires going to them. If there was a problem with the wiring, then we would be able to figure it out by doing what we've already done. But anyhow, man, I'm gonna continue messing with it. At this point, I really don't know. I don't know if I have time. That's my problem. Like, this is tomorrow's video, but... So, we are going to be doing this, but just not today. Unfortunately, I am out of time. My plans for today kind of got cut a little bit short, but it's for a very exciting reason. If any of you guys know who's coming to Phoenix, Arizona right now, him and I have been talking back and forth with one another, and he wants to like collab and do a video together. So at the same time, I'm sitting over here like, what the hell do I even do, bro? Like, okay, I'm just gonna tell you who it is. Most of you guys more than likely already know. I'm sure a lot of you guys have no idea who he is, but Orion from freaking, yes, Haggard Garage, Orion. His current YouTube channel right now is Life OD. But yeah, everybody knows him from Haggard Garage, and obviously Ricer Miata. He's been hanging out with Ricer Miata for the past year or so, whatever it's been. But yeah, dude, he's on his way here, and a bunch of you guys hit his live and said you should team up with Deadbeat Garage. And yeah, bro, we're in contact with one another. Now we gotta do something together, which I am stoked about. But at the same time, I'm like, what the hell? What do I do with Orion? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like one of those opportunities, you know? He's got damn near 1 million subscribers on YouTube. I'd be dumb not to make a video with him. I'm excited to meet him. But at the same time, I'm like, this dude comes from the world of drifting and hanging out with freaking Rudnick and all that stuff. Like, what do I really have to offer? But we're gonna try to figure something out. That's the reason why I have to cut this short, and then I don't know, I gotta spray all the dust off the Blazer and be like, what's up, bro? You wanna take a ride in my stock LS S10 Blazer? I mean, what else do I got? Anyhow, that's what I'm gonna do now is I gotta clean up my mess here, and then yeah, I'm gonna clean up the Blazer and figure out exactly what we're gonna do, because he's gonna be here about 5 o'clock. It's now 2:30, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this here. I hope you guys are excited to see Orion on Deadbeat Garage. What the hell? Peace, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
It looks so weird.
Well, we're not gonna do burnouts in the bourbon.
It looks so weird.
It looks pretty.
Not weird, but
Don't
like
look pretty.
I'm not gonna be able to find that in the parking lot now.
Definitely gotta do like the Chevy emblem black or something.
Yeah.
Look at it. It's gotta be black, right? Say the right thing, babe. Say the right thing.
We should do red.
Hell freaking no.